All right, guys, welcome back to another session of Ask Uncle Millie here at ROADIE Free Radio, where I take an opportunity to answer some of your questions as well as talk about some relevant topics to the film and audio industries like we do on the show every week. By the way, if you haven't caught our most recent episode with Ms. Kim Watson from Newcastle, she's a systems tech and an audio engineer, go ahead and check that out. So this week, the topic is, should I go to film school or audio school? Basically, should I go to school to learn my craft? And there's a couple of different ways to approach this, so I want to take a couple minutes to talk about this and get your thoughts on it too. So feel free at the end of this video or this podcast to go ahead and hit me up at info@roadiefreeradio.com and let me know your thoughts. I would say, in terms of the number of guests that I have on the show, it's kind of split almost 50-50 in terms of those folks that went to school to learn their craft, whether it was audio or film, and then folks who just learned on the job and learned by real life experiences. Here's my short answer. I don't think there are only two ways, meaning I don't think you can either go to school or learn by doing. I chose more of a middle path, if you will, and that is I started learning and started working as a production assistant in the film world and quickly could tell that I liked the behind the scenes stuff. I was drawn to the camera stuff. I was drawn to the editing world and whatnot. And I looked into going to film school. I looked into AFI, USC, into some of their master's programs and whatnot. And I frankly didn't have the money, so I wasn't going to invest. That's certainly a part of the criteria. You know, do you have the money to go to school? Are you willing to go into debt to go to school and then try to work that off? Maybe you already have some debt from going to college. It all depends on your situation. So I chose to stay working, to try to keep getting jobs in the industry, learning what I could, but then I took a lot of weekend classes. I took a lot of weekend classes on Final Cut Pro at the time. I was a big Final Cut Pro user, and so I found weekend courses at places like Moviola and whatnot in Los Angeles where I could take classes and learn more about the software that I was using. Then I started taking classes at UCLA Extensions about editing and the theory of editing and things like that, and I just watched a lot of films. And then I was fortunate enough to assist some working editors, and that really started jump-starting my career where I could work with them, be their hands as it were, and learn a tremendous amount. So I think that applies to both the film side and the audio side. You know, you don't have to go to school to be an audio engineer, but the more skills you have, the more knowledge you have, the more work you're going to get, and the more work you get, the happier you're going to be. So what I would suggest, because I know that places like Digico and Avid and, you know, Claire Brothers, I know that a lot of these places offer continuing training and whatnot. So I would say, you know, start working, get as much work as you can, and immediately start seeking out people that you think can help you, people that could be a mentor to you, that you won't be afraid to ask a lot of questions. I think that's the other big thing is, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're on a movie set, if you're at a show, an event, if you're working, ask someone why they're doing something. But also remember, timing is everything. So don't just start grilling them with questions while they're working, but wait for the right time and ask them, and I guarantee you they will most likely be willing to share their information with you. It's very important. So I would say, you know, do you need to go to school to learn this stuff? No, not necessarily, unless you really think that your situation, you know, allows it and you want to take that time to go do so. But I do think that some school is good. So a little bit of real world experience and a little bit of education and a little bit of schooling is not a terrible thing. Again, the more you know, the more hireable you can be, and that's just a good thing all around. Now, let's get to a word from our sponsors here, shall we? This episode of Ask Uncle Millie is sponsored by my good friends over at ShowPro Beard Co. The all-natural, non-greasy, special formula for you to tighten up your beard. It is great stuff. You just rub it. I've got the sample pack, which is awesome because then you can choose, you know, what scent you like. You just rub it on there. Look at that. It just cleans right up. Boom, you're ready to go. So head over to showprobeardco.com. use the code ROADIE to get yourself 20% off. That's showprobeardco.com. Use the code ROADIE, get yourself 20% off. Now, the last thing I wanted to leave you with, what I'm listening to the last couple of weeks. I don't know why, I just felt like sharing. First off, Wilco's Sky Blue Sky. This is an older album. This is 2000 and I think 2007, 2008. Great record. I've just been listening to it a lot recently. I think because of the gray weather and the wet and cold weather, this album kind of brings out some of those feelings. Sky Blue Sky. Phenomenal tunes on here. The guitar work on this album, whew, phenomenal. Also, Mavis Staples' If All I Was Black. Coincidentally, this album was produced by Jeff Tweedy, and he plays guitar and sings with Mavis on this. Really great, poignant songs. The production on this sounds fantastic. And this has been a nice counterpoint to the Sky Blue Sky. I don't know, just some stuff I thought I'd share. If you're interested, there's some Amazon links in the description below. Go ahead and click those. Folks, we are trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So by January 1st, 2019, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. It's a little internal challenge that we're doing. Many of you have already jumped in and started subscribing. I appreciate it. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to watch more of these videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Any comments or suggestions you have for me for the show and these videos, please let me know. And as always, you can find me at info@roadiefreeradio.com. Send me your questions. You know I want to hear from you. And in the meantime, my friends, you all be safe out there.